Super Mario Galaxy! Woohoo!
Hey everybody, so today we're going to be reviewing Super Mario Galaxy Dos. That's 2 in Spanish, if you didn't know.
Just came out in March, I believe. It's a pretty new game.
2010.
It's selling really well. Everyone's been giving it perfect 10s.
IGN.
Across the board.
GameStop or Spot, whatever.
GameSpot, yeah. And basically it's a sequel to the first game, which also did very well.
Yeah, I don't really know the story of this game, so Brad, take it away.
It's not very complicated, and you can probably guess it even before I tell you this, but Bowser just comes and steals Peach again, and he actually forces her to make a galaxy-sized cake, which is kind of amusing. And then at the end...
Women making cakes.
Yeah. And then at the end, he's like, oh, I never got my cake. And it's just kind of funny, like, he put you through all of this just for a cake.
Okay, don't get mad, subscribers who are girls, please. I have nothing against you guys and your cakes.
Nintendo does.
Nintendo does. So let's talk about the co-op multiplayer.
Oh, right, yeah. In the first game, the second player, all he would control, he or she, is a pointer on the screen, which was kind of wimpy and nobody really wanted to play it. It was a little embarrassing, like, because the first player just felt completely in control and the second player just thrown under the bus. But in this game, the second player actually controls a Luma star, and you can hold enemies, and while you're holding them, you can also spin, and the Luma will attack the enemy, and you can basically clear out entire areas for the first player. It's a really great way to get through the game faster, and it's actually more fun. The second player does feel a little more involved, and it feels like more traditional two-player mode.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a cheat code, the Luma Star, because being able to freeze the enemies and even bosses that sometimes can be a cheat code at some points in the game.
So, anyway, there's 7 different worlds in this game, I believe. In each world, there's about 20 or so stages, I'd say. The stages are kind of bite-sized. They're not as big as they were in Galaxy 1, but to compensate for that, there's just more of them, which actually I like because there's more variety.
So, let's talk about Yoshi, because he's pretty cool too.
Yeah, he's like the biggest new addition everyone's wondering about.
Yeah. So, tell me some stuff about Yoshi.
Yoshi, well, he controls pretty much how you'd want him to control, actually. He can run really fast in the mud, whereas Mario gets slowed down. He can eat enemies, which is pretty cool, and then he, like, craps out star bits right afterwards. It's disgusting. He has separate power-ups for himself as well. He has the Dash Pepper, which makes him run super fast, and it's a little hectic, hard to control.
But it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, and he also has the balloon berry, I think it's called. I'm not sure, but you eat it and he inflates, and you can float up for a certain amount of time. And it's not used a whole lot, but it's kind of cool.
So, Brad, now since we've talked about Yoshi's power-ups, don't you think we should be talking about Mario's power-ups?
Yes, why don't we?
That's a swell idea, Austin. So, there are many new power-ups Mario has in Super Mario Galaxy 2, such as he could transform into a rock ball and like roll around and hit stuff. And then he also has a power-up where he could turn into Cloud Mario, where basically he can create clouds and jump on them. And you only have a certain amount of clouds. I think you have like 4 or something, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
You have clouds, and you're like limited to a certain number, basically.
Yeah.
And use these to get to certain areas where Mario wouldn't be able to get on his own.
Another function of the Cloud Flower is that in windy, there's a level with windmills, for example, and if you create a cloud under you, it'll start blowing in the direction the windmill is blowing, and that can be used to get you to other faraway places.
Yes.
So,
what else is there, Brad? Enlighten me on Mario's power-ups.
there's also the drill, I guess, just...
Where you drill into the earth,
Yeah,
where you
just
could
the
get
drill.
to, like, the other side of the planet. They also have the fireball flower, which is, amazingly, they still have it after, like, I don't know, how many years has Mario been out? Come on, you know this sort of stuff, Brad.
I don't know, 25 years.
25 years, there you go. Yeah, so they still have the fire flower, that's pretty awesome. I was kind of, like, depressed when they didn't have the mushroom. That makes you, like, big, everyone knows that. I wish they had that, that'd be awesome. Like,
Yeah, that's like a trademark Mario thing, like, come on. I know they didn't have it in the first game, but...
like they should have had it in all the games.
Yeah, the fire flower was in the first game as well, and another thing that was in the first game was the ice flower, which actually didn't make it to this game for reasons I don't really know, but it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a great power up anyway.
Oh, and they have the bee one too, where you can transform into a bee and fly around still.
Yeah.
And they also have the one where you can turn into a spring. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, the bee and the spring are both from the first game as well. The spring, I've heard a lot of complaints about it, just because it's hard to control, but, I mean, come on, like, that's kind of the point.
It's supposed to be hard to control, stupids. But yeah, it's probably my favorite power-up. Now, Brad, tell me, since I have told you my favorite power-up, what is your favorite power-up?
I'd probably have to say the boulder.
The boulder?
Yeah, because even though it's hard to maneuver, it gets you moving really fast, and I know there's a few levels where you go on ramps, you hit rubber bands, stuff like that, he sends you all over the place, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, this game is freaking insane.